drops it. Robinson has it, and he has a touchdown.
Ahead on Early Birds, the Falcons will try and take command against the Commanders tomorrow afternoon. We'll break down how they can stay perfect at home. Speaking of, Desmond Ridder doesn't lose at the Benz. Maybe it's because he's got a secret weapon to help prepare. He'll explain when we go deep. That and lots more on Early Birds.
Grab a cup of your favorite Joe and let's talk Falcons football on Early Birds, presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Good morning and welcome into Early Birds. DJ alongside Justin. Shock, big question for you. Have you called the opponent from Washington by the wrong name at all this week? Please be honest.
You mean the Washington? No. Commanders. I have really focused on it this week, so I'm hoping it doesn't slip out during the show today. So
Commanders. We got 30 minutes to get it right. All right. Let's start things off with the opening drive. We'll try to at least get through that without any mistakes. Falcons and Commanders tomorrow afternoon at the Benz. Desmond Ridder coming off arguably his best game as a quarterback commander, if you will. Shock. So how did he do it, and how does he do it again?
You know, I think there were a lot of factors that went into this ball game and him playing well. I think most importantly, it was his consistency. I thought he did a good job of being consistent within the pocket, but also when he got outside. And then also the trust he had in the players around him to give them opportunities to make plays. He trusted that the guys were going to be in the right spot, and he let it go. He didn't hold on to it. He did such a good job, I thought, in that ball game of just being the guy inside the pocket, and he has to continue to do that to play successful as the season goes on.
So, Shock, what did Dez say that he did? Do tell.
Told you guys before, it's just kind of, where the play takes me. When we try to start to, force people the ball, that's when, things start to go a little south. For me, it's just about going through, playing each play.
I think it was validation for the world and the outside people to see that, look, we got a real ball player and a guy who can play. So that was really good for him.
As we continue on the opening drive, the Falcons will face another young quarterback and another one who comes in on something of a roll. Sam Howell was picked in the 5th round last year, and DJ, he's been putting up some big numbers lately.
Yeah, even though they lost the last 3 ball games, he put up some really monster numbers. You're talking about over 300 yards in their last game versus the Bears. This is a guy who did it in college. He threw it all over the yard, and was a guy who is not afraid to sling it. Now, Sam Howell is one of those type of players that regardless of round he went in, he feels like he is a top-tier player and continues to do that. Now, he wants to get back on the right track. Hopefully he doesn't do that on Sunday, but he is a guy you have to reckon with because he can make plays. And here's Arthur Smith's scouting report.
Sam Howell's done a good job in there. You know what the numbers are. He's tougher than hell. I think he's very accurate, and he'll sit in there, and you got to respect that. And they got really good skill position players on offense. A lot of guys that can catch and run. They got vertical speed. It's a deep skill position group, especially at the wideouts.
Well, we're talking about skill positions. Let's go back to the Falcons offense and talk about tight ends. It's becoming a bigger and bigger part of Atlanta's offense. Was last week. Kyle Pitts, he's coming off his biggest game of the year. He's getting the targets, but Shock, Jonnu Smith, a ton of action as well.
You're talking about the top 2 pass catchers on this team right now are tight ends, and Jonnu Smith is the leading pass catcher in yards for this team. And we saw Michael Pruitt have a big catch last week, 22-yard gain, but all 3 of these guys are equivalent to what you want to call a receiver on the outside. They can make plays, you can spread them anywhere, and we know Arthur Smith loves his tight ends from his background. Continue to see these guys make plays. I don't think that's going to change this season because all these guys are special players in their own right.
Yeah, you saw in the video, even Drake London throwing the ball to the tight end.
Find a way to get him to rock.
That's when you know they're on fire. Well, welcome into Early Birds alongside DJ Shockley. I'm Justin Felder. And Shock, another big area to watch tomorrow, Washington's D-line. They got some big, mean dudes up front. Jonathan Allen, chief among them, and it's going to be a challenge to protect Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, you're talking about 4 or 5 guys who are drafted in the first round,
right.
All guys who can make plays. This will be the biggest test, I think, for this Falcons offensive line this season. So we'll see if they can hold up, but we definitely hope so because protecting Ridder, like we did last week, is number 1.
Yeah, when he's got some time, you can see what he did over 300 yards last week. Yep. Well, Shock, film room seems so out of context in this gaudy apartment complex. That was a deep cut. I'm going to be honest with you. That's District Sleeps Alone Tonight by the Postal Service.
I had no idea.
The Garden State soundtrack.
I had no idea.
Yeah, that was a deep cut. I'm sorry, but I'll get better next time. All right, go warm up and Telestrator. We'll see you in a few. But first, D. Alford went from a little-known training camp breakout last season to a reliable member of the Falcons defense this year. He was all over the field last Sunday in the win against pass-happy Houston. Been a long road for the former high-five star. He sat down one-on-one with our Kelly Price earlier this week.
What would you tell, you at Spalding High School back in the day? Hey, you're going to be an Atlanta Falcon one day. Like, would he even believe that?
Probably not, because it's so crazy. A lot of people don't know, I started playing football my senior year of high school, so I was chasing, basketball dreams and different things like that. I wanted to go to the NBA. So to see where I'm at right now, man, it's crazy, man. It show you that, if you believe in something and you chase your goals and your dreams and you can achieve them. Also just speaking things into existence. I've always been big on, speaking things into existence, manifestation, as you can say. But yeah, I just look myself in the mirror every day and just tell myself, like, I belong here, and I'm gonna continue to be better and continue to, chase greatness, and that's what I do day in and day out.
That being said, does getting to wear that Falcon logo, that Atlanta on your chest, does that just mean like a little bit more to you than any other team that you've played for?
I'll say a lot more, man. Just growing up a Falcon fan, my dad, my family, huge Falcon fan, so it's just like, it means a lot when I put on those colors, and I just want to, make sure I do my best and, do great things for this organization, But yeah, it means a lot when you can wear, the home team and play for the home team.
The defense has been on fire, especially, these critical situations, 3 and outs, these kinds of things that you guys are doing for the team to win these games, and then for the offense to come out last week and really have that game-winning drive and show you guys that they can kind of do that as well. What did that mean for you guys as a defense to see that play out?
It means a lot, just having a leader like Des, he can handle anything, but just knowing that your offense is going to have your back and you're going to have your offense back, it just shows the type of team that we have here, and we want to continue, grow as a team and different things like that. So we won't even have to put, the offense in those type of situations. We can just go in, play fast, and win games. But it means a lot, just knowing that you have an offense that can help you out when you down bad.
It's time to get some game intel from Shock. You're invited into the film room, so cut the lights and let's get started.
All right, all the conversation over the last few weeks has been talking about Desmond Ridder has been eyeing his targets. He's looking at the guy he wants to throw to. Well, yeah, he did that a couple times, but this is where you can learn from week to week and how he is progressing as a quarterback and understand some of his faults that he did in previous games. Now, this is a play here where he wants to get the football down here to Kyle Pitts. Now, Kyle Pitts is going to run a nice little slant that comes right out of here. This slant comes outside, and he's going to break this guy. Now, the guy you want to pay attention to on this particular play here is this guy right here in the middle. This is the guy that you want to control, because if you don't control him, he's going to run right up underneath this, and he's going to make the play on it. But Desmond Ridder does such a good job of using his eyes. When I say using his eyes, he does a good job of looking this way first, and that moves this guy just a little bit, and now you have a nice clear throw lane to throw it to. So we're going to let this play out, and you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about as he goes. On the snap of the football, watch the guy in the middle. Now look at Dez's head. Look exactly where he's looking at right now. His head is looking this way. And guess what? That moved this guy just slightly. Now you're able to hit your slant on the backside, which opens up a huge gap right here where you want to throw the football. So he does such a good job of holding that guy to the left and knowing where you want to go to football and bringing him back to it. And now look at this window he has to throw. Look at that huge window now you have to throw to complete this football, because you did such a good job of holding your eyes. Such an unbelievable job with Desmond Ridder from one week to the next, learning his faults and making it happen in game time situation for a big time play. Justin, we hope this continues all season long.
Shock, that was a great breakdown, and we hope that you at home keep your eyes on us, because we've got more to come on Early Birds. Busy college football day ahead. DJ is going to break out his prediction notebook as he makes his playoff picks. We hit the halfway point of the college season. Plus,
the amount of wives and girlfriends and significant others that help us prepare to where we are today.
Desmond Ridder says his better half gets a lot of credit for his better play. QB1 will explain when we go deep.
Hey Falcons fans, score a touchdown with low tire prices at Mavis Tires and Brakes, the official tire retailer of the Atlanta Falcons. Visit MavisTire.com to find a store near you. You're watching Early Birds, presented by Mercedes-Benz. Best, nothing. And sponsored by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. Truest, when you start with care, you get a different kind of bank. And the Home Depot, how doers get more done. More Early Birds coming back at you. Early Birds, listen up. It's not Saturday without some college football talk. Brought to you by Zaxby's. Indescribably good chicken fingers and wings. Here's Justin Felder.
Welcome back into Early Birds. He's DJ, I'm Justin, and I don't want to get too emotional here, but a little sad. We're like at the halfway point of the college football season. It's the favorite time of year, and it just, wells you up a little bit to know that it could end soon.
It's unbelievable. I remember when we first started, it was like, all right, we got week 1. We finally got college football. Here we are. I wonder, week 7. What? So it's flying by for sure.
Doesn't seem fair. We're going to enjoy it while it lasts. And since we are at halfway, it feels like a good time to get your playoff picks. So DJ, let's get your final 4. I have a good guess who one of them will be, but I'm interested to know the other 3.
I mean, it's easy. The number 1 team, obviously, is the University of Georgia. The Bulldogs obviously have been there. They've done it. They're solidifying themselves right now. They're still the number 1 team. And, there are a lot of talks about who else could be there, but they're doing a good job. Next, I think the next part about this is Ohio State, Michigan. Whoever wins that ball game, I think, has an opportunity to be in the college football playoff. We know that's always a huge game at the end of the year. In the last couple of years, Michigan has had Ohio State's number. I know Jake's not going to like to see that.
Yeah.
But they have had his number. And I think the other team, you're talking about Florida State and then Oregon. I love Oregon. Now, this Pac-12 is going to be interesting. I mean, USC, Washington, Oregon, all top-tier teams and been playing really good football. I think Bo Nix and Oregon, Dan Lanning, they finally break through and have an opportunity to get into the college football playoff. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, but I think Florida State and the ACC is a team that comes out of there because they play so well this season. And they've continued to answer the bell every single time on the road at Clemson. Early wins right there versus LSU. They have been battle tested early. So those are 4 teams, I think, 5 teams, that have a good chance to make it to the playoff.
Well, a rival coach said this is Jim Harbaugh's best Michigan team, and here's how Harbaugh responded.
Good, thank you. Really impressed with, better each week, getting better and better. Guys are locked in, apparently locked in. See that in practice and in games, and feel like we can, keep on that trajectory.
That was great from Coach Harbaugh. All right, so let's talk about the top team in your playoff picture. No surprise, you got Georgia up there. And you know what? Fair enough. Because last week against Kentucky, they really maybe started to look like the number 1 team in the country. I see you're keeping it in right now. So here's the question. Are they clear-cut number 1 right now? Did last week prove it to you? Have you known it all along?
I think last week was a big determiner about how good this team can be. Over the first couple weeks, I can see how people could say maybe a Michigan should be up there. Maybe Ohio State. I mean, all these other teams who have been winning, maybe they need the opportunity to be number 1. But I think last week showed in all 3 phases how good Georgia can actually be when they put it all together.
And a big piece of that was getting Carson Beck going. Here's what the confident quarterback has been saying this week.
Compared to where I'm at as far as my confidence level goes, I was not confident at all that first game. But that continues to build. And each week just looking for little things that I can improve on. Understanding that no matter what the result is, we've been able to win every week up to this point, but there's always things that we can get better at, and we're constantly evolving as far as our offense goes.
Georgia and Vanderbilt today at noon, which reminds me, we got to get you on the road.
Yeah, I need to get out of here
soon. Air Force Shock is going to be taking off. Big one tonight, though, in South Bend. Southern Cal going to Notre Dame, and the Trojans, Shock, could really make a statement.
Trojans could make a statement, but also Notre Dame could make a statement. I think, USC has not been a team that's played really great. They've lived off Caleb Williams and how well he's played on that side of the ball, but they've given up a bunch of points. And Notre Dame, obviously 2 losses to Louisville this season, also to Ohio State. But you're talking about the quarterbacks in this ball game. Listen to these numbers. The 2 quarterbacks in this ball game have thrown for 38 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. That tells you when you got that kind of QB play, you can win a lot of ball games. But I think this may be a game that Notre Dame surprised a lot of people, even with those 2 losses, and puts USC behind that A-ball. Remember, I had Oregon, so USC's got to find a loss somewhere.
Yep, Pac-12 really could be an interesting race there down the stretch. Shock, great college football insight. We'll get you off to Vanderbilt soon. Usually I throw it to you in the other studio, but now I'll just send it over to you. It's a lot easier.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
DJ?
Right. Every week on Going Deep, we ask Falcons players to explain something that the average fan might not know about the game they love. Desmond Ridder says preparation is key to his success at quarterback, and Ridder can watch all the film on an iPad he wants, but he also has a secret weapon to get ready for his games: his wife. He explains that this week's Going Deep.
First and goal, low snap. Ridder moving to his left, throws. There it is. End zone, touchdown.
on? What's something that goes into getting ready to do your job that most fans wouldn't know just sitting at home?
I would say just the amount of wives and girlfriends and significant others that help us prepare to where we are today. A lot of people just think it's the coaches and the players, but my wife, as soon as I get home, I have like an hour with, so-called family time, and then it's like back to work where I'll go by myself for like an hour, and then say like 9 to 9:30, my wife is helping me. She's reading off the plays as she was, Art or Coach Rags, whatever it may be, and I'm feeding them back to her. She'll quiz me. She'll say the first part, I'll say the back part. Talk to a lot of guys around, the facility and around the league. That's what, a lot of significant others do, is help them with the play calls or help them with the plays. So I would definitely say that, that's not what the normal people think happens, but happens.
Very interesting stuff. Awesome. Thanks so much, Desmond, for that insight. And we've got more to come on Early Birds. We take a look inside the machinery that can, look inside. We'll check in with Falcons team Doc after the break.
You're watching Early Birds, presented by Mercedes-Benz, on your official home for Falcons football, Fox 5 Atlanta.
Welcome back into Early Birds. Well, the Falcons medical staff is able to get quite a lot of work done at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, even during games. That includes one test normally reserved for a hospital or at very least a doctor's office, and that's the focus of this week's Emory Road to Recovery.
We use x-rays a lot. Like I said, at the stadium, we have x-ray in the locker room. It's very quick. It's very easy. Digital x-ray with professionals running it. We can get access to that x-ray machine anytime we need. We have x-ray here in this Emory Healthcare building next to the training facility as well. So we utilize x-ray a lot, and we use it when we feel like there's an athlete who is injured to a joint, whether it's their bone or their soft tissue, because sometimes when you injure soft tissues, even though the bone's not involved, an x-ray can show you issues with the joint space or something related to that area of the body that then helps us determine what the injury is, and or if we need to move on to something like an MRI or something beyond that.
Always appreciate Doc. Still ahead on Early Birds. Before the Falcons play on Sunday, they spend some time on a different kind of play. The story is after the break.
It's almost game time, Falcons fans. When the Falcons sack the opposing QB at home, you'll score a BOGO free Big Zack snack meal the day after the game. Valid online only at Atlanta area stores. Early Birds has been presented to you by Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing. Hey Falcons fans, score a touchdown with low tire prices at Mavis Tires and Brakes, the official tire retailer of the Atlanta Falcons. Visit MavisTire.com to find a store near you.
Hope you got your ear protection, because on Tuesday the Falcons saw
I got that one. That's
some good work happening as players helped construct a new playground in Swanee. Shock, this is cool to see.
Can they come to my backyard?
Yeah.
My kids would love this right now.
Right, it's set to be more than an acre wide, 2 stories high. Lots of overtime for these guys off the clock, and they don't mind.
It always feel good giving back, man. And I asked for all this work, so this ain't nothing to me. I'm just out here helping people do some good things. TQ is over there doing some dirt job by himself, so I wanted to help him out. Anywhere I can get my hand dirty, I'm trying to do it. We're here to give back. We're here to help out each other. At the end of the day, God says love people, like all people, no matter color, race, ethnicity, none of that matters. Just love people and give back faithfully with all your heart.
That's great. Saw some rookies out there, saw some veterans, good mix of guys giving back. All right, well, we got more to come on this game coming up tomorrow night. Dirty Bird Report, 11:30 p.m. Breaking the entire game down, Falcons and the Commanders. So, Shock, before we go, one more matchup to watch when Atlanta takes on Washington tomorrow. We didn't say the wrong name.
Any guy where his first name is Scary Terry, we got to make sure we keep him under wraps, because Scary Terry McLaurin can get going. Maybe a long day. Let's put the straps on him.
There we go. Skill position players all over the place for Washington.
No
Sam
doubt.
Howell can light it up. Will be interesting to watch. All right, that's it from us here on Early Birds. For DJ Shockley, I'm Justin Felder. Thanks for joining us. Have a good morning and a great rest of your weekend.